Okay, guys, what's up? Just a second. Oh, it's the part of the deal here. Okay. My internet is finally stable enough to start streaming. It's been fucking insane. It's like fucking 3:30 a.m. and my fucking internet just didn't want to stinking you get it. My download was okay, but my upload kept like fucking going up and down. We're gonna be watching the State of the Union today, so I know I'm a few days late from doing it live and shit, but I did it when I could. I'm doing it when I can, I should say.
Mrs. Delbean, gentlewoman from Michigan, Mrs. Dingle.
The President of the Senate.
Now, I will be pausing to talk in response to some of the stuff that's said. If you don't like that, yeah, just search YouTube State of the Union 2026 and choose the channel to your liking.
At the direction.
I just choose the first one I saw, which was Fox News. I don't really care which channel I watch it through.
Of that body appoints the following senators as members of the committee on the part of the Senate to escort the President of the United States into the House chamber. The Senator from South Dakota, Mr. Thune. The Senator from Wyoming, Mr. Barrasso. The Senator from Arkansas, Mr. Cotton. The Senator from West Virginia, Mrs. Capito. The Senator from Oklahoma, Mr. Langford. The Senator from South Carolina, Mr. Scott. The Senator from New York, Mr. Schumer. The Senator from Illinois, Mr. Durbin. And the Senator from Minnesota, Ms. Klobuchar.
The members of the escort committee will exit the chamber through the lobby doors.
While I wait, here's something I haven't used in a long time. Hand lotion, body lotion.
Mr. Speaker, the Acting Dean of the Diplomatic Corps.
I like using it on my hands and my face. Yeah, believe it or not, the lotion helps out with the oiliness of my face. I produce a lot of oil, so my hair, my face I have to wash daily. I have to do my hair every other day.
Mr. Speaker, the Chief Justice and Associate Justices of the Supreme Court.
And the bots are already incoming. By the way, if you come to my stream advertising your Discord or shit like that, or asking me to get fucking view bots, you will be banned.
So my son's a freshman.
It should be okay to skip ahead, right? We don't have to watch this, right?
Mr. Speaker, the President's Cabinet.
Okay, they did a fucking terrible planning of the placement of their camera here. Especially if they knew that somebody was going to be standing in there. Oh, I heard that the hockey teams that won medal in the Olympics against Canada were invited to this too. I heard that the female ones turned it down because they claimed they had a prior engagement, but it's believed they didn't like a fucking joke that Trump told, saying that he had to invite the females too or else he'd be impeached over it. Obviously a fucking joke. I mean, Trump, how do I describe him? Trump is a major asshole. He's a complete dick. But he's funny. You can't say that he's not fucking funny. I find assholes and dicks very funny as well, so. Well, not all of them, but a good amount of them. Now I'm not sure because I don't usually do politics much, but the ties, do all the Republicans wear like blue ties and all the Democrats wear red? Or is it the other way around? Do the Democrats wear blue and the Republicans wear red? I checked with on ChatGPT, and apparently my political stance is what is it, liberal? With I think it says fascist tendencies, because I believe in zero tolerance law enforcement. In other words, with all the fucking riots and shit that went on, if it was up to me, the people would have been rounded up and thrown in cells. Of course, you have to prove that they were rioting and not just protesting, of course. But basically, I have zero tolerance for that type of shit, for violence, crimes, and shit like that. Zero tolerance. I would have already been having the people from the Epstein files fucking arrested, as long as it can be what would you call it? As long as the something people don't understand, you can only try somebody for a certain crime once. I believe it's called double jeopardy. And you can correct me if I'm wrong here. The reason why the law enforcement isn't going after a lot of people in the Epstein files is most likely they don't believe that they can prove it without a reasonable doubt. So they don't want to take them to trial, fail the trial, and make it to where they can't convict them. They're trying to gather as much evidence as they can, if they can, before they actually do the trials. That's what I would assume. Not saying that's what's happening, because some of the people from the files are supposed to be very wealthy and very powerful, so they might just be pulling chains behind the scenes. You don't mind if I skip ahead to a bit, do you? Because right now this is just fucking empty space. Oh, something's happening. Woo! I don't know why I'm wooing, but woo! One of the tribe! One of the tribe!
Selfie. It's a microphone.
And I am getting to where I understand faces. That's J.D. Vance, right? The vice president? And there's the man of the... Yeah, okay, Republicans are red. Democrats are blue. Why is it that all rich people, at least higher class people, have that same face structure, that same look as far as the face goes? Almost every person from a wealthy family that I've known in my life, their appearance have been similar to Trump's. Not looking exactly like him, I just mean the overall appearance of the face. Just the proportions of the skin and shit like that when they get older. I have one of those too. Okay.
Members of Congress, I have the high privilege and distinct honor of presenting to you the President of the United States.
Woo. Sorry, I'm not an overall political person, so I don't really try to put myself as a Democrat or a Republican, though I do have some viewpoints from both parties. I do believe that Trump would have been better than Biden in 2020. I think Trump did a pretty good job in 2016, except how he ended up handling the ending time of COVID. The beginning was acceptable with what happened, but he dropped the ball towards the end. And I think he's definitely a better pick than Kamala. Were there better presidents out there? I'd say yes. I think Trump overall, as far as what's expected of him, was better than Obama. But to be honest, no matter what Obama did, he would have never lived up to the hype that was set up for him. Everybody was basically going nuts. Oh, he's going to change everything. He's our first black president. He's going to change all the problems. Basically, he was put up to an impossible standard to live up to, and he failed miserably in a lot of areas. But it's understandable that he didn't live up to what he was expected of him, because nobody could. Because the expectations were too fucking high for anybody to fulfill. All in all, I'd say Obama was a mediocre president. Biden was a bad president. Trump is a okay president. The last president I thought did pretty good was actually Bill Clinton. And that guy's a fucking horn dog. That guy was legitimately, from what I hear, allegedly, actually on the Epstein Island. USA, USA. I am actually pretty patriotic. I do love my country, but I don't define myself by the country. I will claim to be American. I'll claim to be Californian, even though I'm not really that proud of California. I'm proud of what it used to be. I am pretty proud of America, but the stuff that stuff I'm proud about America, none of it's my doing. It's not my pride. It's just pride for my country.
Well, thank you very much, everybody. It's really an honor. Speaker Johnson, Vice President Vance, First Lady of the United States.
Melania, Melania. Okay, she's getting more applause than he did.
Second Lady of the United States.
I don't even know who his wife is, honestly. I don't know who Vance's wife is, I'm sorry.
Members of Congress and my fellow Americans, our nation is back, bigger, better, richer, and stronger than ever before.
Hyping the crowd. Number one thing of a showman. Now, to give you guys an idea of how I judge stuff, I spent the first few years of my life on a carnival. I'm a carny brat. And it's a traveling carnival. So we know how to trick and manipulate people into doing stuff and to looking at stuff our way. Which all politicians do. If a politician does not do that stuff, then they're not a good politician. It's only recently that people started thinking, oh, politicians are honest people. No, politicians have never been honest. Look back at George Carlin's stand-up. The reason why Clinton was so liked is because, hello everybody, I'm completely full of shit. I just want you all to know that. Well, at least he's honest. Trump, on the other hand, lies about shit that doesn't matter, and he's honest about shit he should lie about. That's kind of refreshing.
Less than 5 months from now, our country will celebrate an epic milestone in American history, the 250th anniversary of our glorious American independence. This July 4th, we will mark 2.5 centuries of liberty and triumph, progress and freedom in the most incredible and exceptional nation ever to exist on the face of the earth. And you've seen nothing yet. We're going to do better and better and better. This is the golden age of America.
We want our independence from some country with bad teeth, right? We completely wrecked their tea that they were trying to sell. And then, just to spite them, developed our dental technology to give us proper teeth. Now, I'm saying this when I have no upper front teeth. They were pulled at the hospital. So I know the hypocrisy in what I'm saying, but I know it's Britain, guys. I know it's Britain. But just going along with the joke. Some unknown country with fucked up teeth. Oh, and bad food. The place that, even though they're in the area that has it, has no idea what spices are. I'm just kidding, Britain. Come back to us. You can't be our leader again, but we don't mind taking you under our wing. Be back the way you used to be. Be powerful. Stop being little pussies. That same message is basically also straight out to the entire EU. Stop letting other fucking countries' people that you take in out of kindness, stop letting them fucking walk all over you and fuck with your people. When you take somebody in out of kindness, if they end up trampling on all the shit in your house, you kick them the fuck out.
When I last spoke in this chamber 12 months ago, I had just inherited a nation in crisis with a stagnant economy, inflation at record levels, a wide open border, horrendous recruitment for military and police, rampant crime at home, and wars and chaos all over the world. But tonight, after just 1 year, I can say with dignity and pride that we have achieved a transformation like no one has ever seen before, and a turnaround for the ages. It is indeed a turnaround for the ages.
I can guarantee you one thing. If Hillary Clinton would have won office, other countries would not be starting wars. Because they wouldn't be fast enough, because Hillary would have several fucking countries bombed into the ground by now. She is straight up fucking monster. She has all the traits required for a good president, except she is too violent. She's too hostile. That's the main problem with her. She's definitely strong enough to be president, but she's too aggressive. By the way, after saying that, Hillary, I like you. We share a birthday. I don't want to have committed suicide by 15 gunshots in the back, please.
And we will never go back to where we were just a very short time ago. We're not going back. Today, our border is secure.
Where are the people walking out? At least one guy has enough kindness to actually duck so he doesn't get in the way of the cameras. Well, I hope that guy isn't just short. I hope I'm not being too much of a fucking asshole here. I hope he's actually ducking out of kindness and not just being short.
Today, our border is secure. Our spirit is restored. Inflation is plummeting. Incomes are rising fast. The roaring economy is roaring like never before. And our enemies are scared. Our military and police are stacked. And America is respected again, perhaps like never before.
Any good leader, and Trump is failing in one of these aspects, your allies should look up to you while your enemies fear you. Basically, you have to be an angel to your friends, and you have to be a demon to your enemies. That's just a good general outlook. The problem, though, is our allies aren't really being too good of allies. They're fucking themselves over. I do believe that, looking at the shit that's going on over there. At least the shit I hear about. I know I don't see it personally, and all the information I know is secondhand, but I do look through multiple sources to find out, and yeah, this stuff is fucking pretty bad, and countries that were once great, powerful countries are now, how do I put this? Too afraid about their images to exercise any form of power whatsoever.
After 4 years in which millions and millions of illegal aliens poured across our borders, totally unvetted and unchecked, we now have the strongest and most secure border in American history by far. In the past 9 months, 0 illegal aliens have been admitted to the United States.
Okay.
But we will always allow people to come in legally, people that will love our country and will work hard to maintain our country.
As it should be. If you offer something of worth and you're willing to integrate, then yeah, by all means. I don't mind taking in hundreds, if not thousands, not a million though. Even if it's just manual labor, if we're short in areas, I'm okay with taking people in where the jobs don't want to hire, but it has to be legally. And that's not just for us, that's also for the people coming in, because the ones that are coming in illegally are being exploited. They're being paid way below what they should be, which is also stopping American workers from taking the jobs, because you want to spend, you want to pay somebody like fucking $5 an hour by just giving them cash, or do you want to have to pay them 15, or do you want to pay an American $15 an hour and have a fucking record of it kept and everything? Because basically, if you do it under the table, you don't have to handle secretary, you don't have to handle fucking bookkeeping, you don't have to go through like other proxies like banks and stuff, which you have to do when you do stuff legally. So when you do it legally, you not only have to pay your worker more, you also have to hire other workers to handle the paperwork, and you have to pay basically insurance companies for business insurances. You have to pay payroll places. Just, there's a lot of other fucking things added on top of that. So it's understandable why people would want to do stuff under the table. You save a lot of money that way. You just sacrifice the worker's dignity for it. Not to mention the storage of the paperwork and stuff, because usually you have to keep a soft copy, in other words, something on a computer, which takes up disk space, not much though, and you have to keep hard copies usually, so that's what takes up a lot of space.
The flow of deadly fentanyl across our border is down by a record 56% in 1 year.
I'm good for that. I do believe all drugs should be legalized and taxed, and well, legalized, regulated, and taxed heavily. And then from those taxes, we should apply the same tax to alcohol, tobacco, and stuff like that. And then we should take all of that and make a public healthcare system for basic healthcare.
And last year, the murder rate saw its single largest decline in recorded history. This is the biggest decline, think of it, in recorded history, the lowest number in over 125 years, year 1900. In fact, substantially before my wonderful father, I had a wonderful father, Fred, before he was born, substantially before he was born. That's a long time ago. He wouldn't like me to say that, but that's a long time ago. The Biden administration and its allies in Congress gave us the worst inflation in the history of our country.
Okay.
But in 12 months, my administration has driven core inflation down to the lowest level in more than 5 years. And in the last 3 months of 2025, it was down to 1.7%. Gasoline, which reached a peak of over $6 a gallon in some states under my predecessor, It was quite honestly a disaster. It is now below $2.30 a gallon in most states, and in some places, $1.99 a gallon. And when I visited the great state of Iowa just a few weeks ago, I even saw $1.85 a gallon for gasoline.
The record I've seen on gasoline price, and this was when I was a teenager, was 98 cents a gallon. When I was a teenager. So that was a pretty good damn price. It might not be a popular idea, but I believe the government should regulate prices. Set a maximum price something could be set to, because it's ridiculous that you can buy something on the East Coast for $5 and you have to pay $10 for it on the West Coast. I think the prices should be universal. Now the thing is, how do you implement that without getting allowing like corruption or something like that to bleed in? Because we want to lower the prices in the higher areas, but we don't want to raise the prices in the lower areas too much. But that's basically what they'll force you to do. They'll raise the prices in the lower areas if they're forced to lower the prices in the higher areas. I think, as I said, I think the prices should be universal for stuff. It's a little bit ridiculous that it's like this. Just my 2 cents on this. A product should not cost more than the amount of the material used to produce the product, with a 20% with 20% added to it. So basically, well, I'm negotiable with the 20%. So say a product costs $100 to make. I don't think that product should end up being, I don't think you should be able to charge more than $120 for that product. Again, the percent is negotiable. So I do believe you should be able to get a profit for the product. But so basically, you make something, you charge the price of the materials, you charge the price of the workers. You can even add in the price of the shipping. And then on top of all that, add in another 20% profit. Let's just call it a profit addition. I don't think it should be able to go above that. Now again, how do you do that without having stuff ended up being corrupted? Because anything can end up affecting the prices. So, yeah. A lot of what ifs, stuff that's hard to implement. I'm not even sure if that would be hard to implement, but it'd be hard to keep it from being corrupted.
Mortgage rates are the lowest in 4 years and falling fast, and the annual cost of a typical new mortgage is down almost $5,000 just since I took office. 1 year. And low interest rates will solve the Biden-created housing problem while at the same time protecting the values of those people who already own a house that really feel rich for the first time in their lives. We want to protect those values. We want to keep those values up. We're going to do both.
Again, when I was younger, a house would be around, depending on where you go, anywhere between like 30,000 and like 80,000, I believe. Now the houses can be anywhere in the high 100,000s. Well, anywhere in the 100,000s and some even in the millions. And these are just regular houses. I saw a house in my neighborhood selling for like $2 million. Well, not my current neighborhood, but a neighborhood I was in before. We were renting a house there.
And we are going to keep it that way. The stock market has set 53 all-time record highs since the election. Think of that, 1 year.
And by my neighborhood, I don't mean my actual neighborhood. I mean, it's like a few miles away, but same city.
Boosting pensions, 401ks, and retirement accounts for the millions and millions of Americans. They're all gaining. Everybody's up, way up. In 4 long years, the last administration got less than $1 trillion in new investment in the United States. And when I say less, substantially less. In 12 months, I secured commitments for more than $18 trillion pouring in from all over the globe.
What?
Think of it, much less than $1 trillion for 4 years versus much more than $18 trillion for 1 year. What a difference a president makes. A short time ago, we were a dead country. Now we are the hottest country anywhere in the world, the hottest.
Believe it or not, presidents have actually very little power. People think they're able to do stuff they're not actually able to do. Trump is using the little power he does have access to pretty well as far as wielding it goes.
As thousands of new businesses are forming and factories, plants, and laboratories are being built, we have added 70,000 new construction jobs in just a very short period of time. It's getting bigger and bigger and stronger. Nobody can believe what they're watching.
Construction is basically a traditional base level job, entry job level. Construction, demolition, and transportation. Those are basically the 3 most important jobs for employment for people, at least they used to be, for employment of people across America.
American oil production is up by more than 600,000 barrels a day, and we just received from our new friend and partner, Venezuela, more than 80 million barrels of oil.
Gifted oil.
American natural gas production is at an all-time high because I kept my promise to drill, baby, drill.
Okay. I believe when you have resources, you should exploit them. However, you should also take measures to limit the impact on the environment. If it's going to do widespread damage, basically to a huge area, then you need to get better technology. You need to invest on fucking creating technology where you can reduce that. And by widespread damage, what I mean is it's going to cost us a few trees. Oh, I don't mean it's going to cost a few trees or shit like that. I mean, it's going to make the place to where it's less livable for people. Like polluting the water to where you can't drink the water anymore. Or polluting the air where you can't breathe the air without getting cancer. That's the type of shit that I'm talking about when I say it needs to be regulated. If it's going to cause health impacts on human beings in the area, or even the animals in the area, you should try to find alternatives to the way you're doing it to reduce those.
More Americans are working today than at any time in the history of our country. Think about that. Any time in the history of our country, more working today. And 100% of all jobs created under my administration have been in the private sector. We ended DEI in America.
That I'm happy about. DEI was a fucking worthless fucking, what would you call it? I want to say project. It's not project. It was fucking worthless. You're choosing people to enter based on skin color or race or gender instead of qualifications. What's the use of bringing somebody in if they're not going to be able to properly fulfill the fucking requirements? They're either going to flunk out of the school or they're going to cause problems in the company. As long as they're qualified, they get the job. I don't care what fucking color you are. If you can fucking do a better job than somebody else, then fucking by all means. I don't care if you're fucking a woman. I don't care if you're a man. I don't care if you're black. I don't care if you're white. What I care about is your abilities.
We cut a record number of job-killing regulations, and in 1 year we have lifted 2.4 million Americans, a record, off of food stamps. And for all of these reasons, I say tonight, members of Congress, the state of our union is strong. Our country is winning again. In fact, we're winning so much that we really don't know what to do about it. People are asking me, please, 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 Mr. President, we're winning too much. We can't take it anymore. We're not used to winning in our country. Until you came along, we're just always losing, but now we're winning too much. And I say, no, 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 you're going to win again. You're going to win big. You're going to win bigger than ever. And to prove that point, here with us tonight is a group of winners who just made the entire nation proud. The men's gold medal Olympic hockey team. Come on in.
They need to work on the filter settings on that mic. I'd actually, after hearing that part, I'd like to read or watch a story written by Trump. I wonder what the story would be like. I'll tell you one thing. It's going to be very masculine and very, how to put this? Over masculine? Violent, maybe? I have several stories I'm working on, but I'm not really a writer, so I'm trying to figure out how to write them out. I've got them all hashed out in my head. I think I got like 5 of them right now. I'm just not sure how to write them out. I've been using ChatGPT to explain to me how to write stuff out and basically to proofread and all shit like that for me when I write them. Because I'm also very bad at spelling. I also ask for help and like recommendations on how to improve it. USA, 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 USA. You have to give Trump this. He's one hell of a showman. Hey, is Vince McMahon eligible for running for president? I think it'd be entertaining if after Trump, Vince McMahon actually runs. I think that'd be fucking hilarious. It might cause chaos, but I think it would be funny.
Go ahead. They do.
Vince walks into the White House with a fucking championship belt with the word president written across the fucking middle of it.
That's the first time I've ever seen them get up. And actually, not all of them did get up. But they beat a fantastic Canadian team in overtime, as everybody saw, as did the American women who will soon be coming to the White House.
Who did he wink at?
They were in the Oval Office before, and I just want to say a second very big congratulations to Team USA. But I have to say that, and I told them this, and we took a vote of the team. I said, anybody say no, because I've never seen a goaltender play as well as goalie
Was
Connor
that cut in the
Alaba.
video?
Think of it, 46 shots on goal, and I asked him, the one shot, the one where you put your stick in the back and it hit the neck of your stick and bounced off, do you practice that, or was that a little lucky? He refused to answer that question. But I just want to tell you that the members of this great hockey squad will be very happy to hear, based on their vote and my vote, and in this case my vote was more important, that I will soon be presenting Connor with our highest civilian honor, which we will be given, and which has been given to many athletes over the years. But when I say many, not too many, like 12, it's called the highest civilian honor in our country, the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Okay. Not only do you get a gold Olympic medal, you get a Medal of Freedom.
Great athletes have gotten that, very great, the best, and I thought he deserved it. And I did take a vote, every single one of them. I said, I'm not giving it if anybody goes no, and every single one of them rapidly put up their hand. So I want to thank you. What a special job you did. What special champions you are. Thank you very much.
I could be wrong here because I've never really watched hockey, but isn't Canada supposed to be some of the best in the world when it comes to hockey? And the fact that our team beat them in their game, pretty impressive.
I'm also pleased to say that the next time the Olympic torch is lit, it will be here in America for the 2028 Olympics, and it's the summer version right in Los Angeles. We're going to do a good job in Los Angeles. And Los Angeles is going to be safe, just like Washington, D.C. is now one of the safest cities in the country.
Good luck getting Los Angeles safe.
And this year, and I must say I got them both. I got them in my first term, and I was disappointed because I didn't think I'd be the president when this happened. But strange things took place, and now I've got them because I got the Olympics and I got the 2026 FIFA World Cup, and I wanted to claim the 250th, but I didn't get away with that one. I couldn't claim that one for myself. But we're getting the World Cup, so we have the World Cup and the Olympics coming, and that is exciting news. So this will be a year to celebrate our country and the heroes who have kept it free. Men like Buddy Taggart. At age 17, Buddy volunteered to defend America in World War II, serving in the Pacific under the great General Douglas MacArthur. He fought bravely in the famous Battle of Manila, worked so hard. He was badly wounded and almost killed by enemy machine guns in Luzon. And 81 years ago this month, he liberated the largest internment camp in the Philippines, one of the largest anywhere in the world. But he earned many honors, including a Purple Heart and a Bronze Star, came home, started a family, and tonight he is in the gallery looking forward to July 4th, 2026, his 100th birthday.
Holy fuck.
So, Buddy, you're a brave man, and we salute you. Even in times of challenge, setback, and immense heartache, the spirit of 1776 has always shone through very brightly. It was July 4th of last year when floodwaters tore through a girls' summer camp in Central Texas. One of the worst things I've ever seen.
Is it just me, or does the State of the Union seem more like a community gathering instead of a governmental briefing? Because that's what it's supposed to be, is the government briefing the people on the State of the Union, right? It seems more like just a community joining together. Don't get me wrong, I find it entertaining, but if it's actually meant to be a government deal, a government briefing, I'd prefer it to be a little bit more professional. But if it's just meant to be like a community get together and just adding in just random facts about how the country's doing, then I'm okay with that too. It just depends on which one it's supposed to be. Is it supposed to be an official event or just a gathering?
Is there, rising 26 feet in the matter of minutes, tragically claiming many, many lives. You all remember that one? As the waters threatened to sweep her away, 11-year-old Millie Kate McClelland closed her eyes and prayed to God. She thought she was going to die. Those prayers were answered when Coast Guard rescue swimmer Scott Ruskin descended from a helicopter above. Nobody knew where he came from. It was Scott's first ever rescue mission. A young guy, but very brave,
What's wrong with Vance?
always top in his class. And he lifted not just Millie Kate, but 164 others to safety.
Woo, woo, woo.
People watched Scott from a distance, and they couldn't believe what they were seeing.
What? Why did the audio cut out? Now, the reason why I asked what's wrong with Vance is because how often he was blinking. Let me check something.
A girls' summer camp, first ever rescue mission.
Okay.
That I am.
So somebody muted the mic there. I did this for the country.
Millie Kate.
Damn it.
But we're getting what they were seeing.
I did this for the country in the last year or so. It used to be like this. Now it's like this. So I've done a lot of for the country. It used to be small and
Kate.
okay. What the hell is that on the screen? Camera. People, pay attention to what you're filming.
And Petty Officer Ruskin, I'm pleased to inform you that I am now awarding you the Legion of Merit for extraordinary heroism, which is what it was, extraordinary heroism. Thank you.
I think a person should definitely be awarded for saving a lot of lives.
And I'd like to have the military aide to please come down and take care of the service. Military aide, thank you very much. Take care of that very important service. Thank you very much. From 1776 to today, every generation of Americans has stepped forward to defend life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And they're really doing it for the next generation. But now it's our turn. Together we're building a nation where every child has the chance to reach higher and go further, where government answers to the people, not the powerful, and where the interests of hardworking American citizens are always our first and ultimate concern. That is the debt we owe to the heroes who came before us, and that is the promise we must keep to America for our 250th year. Last year, I urged this Congress to begin the mission by passing the largest tax cuts in American history, and our Republican majorities delivered so beautifully. Thank you, Republicans.
We're about to hit a quarter of a millennia. Fuck.
All Democrats, every single one of them, voted against these really important and very necessary massive tax cuts. They wanted large-scale tax increases to hurt the people instead. But we held strong, and with the great, big, beautiful bill, we gave you no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security for our great seniors.
I'm still in the camp of eliminating all taxes and doing a sales tax, a luxury tax, which is just another form of a sales tax, and a corporation tax as well. The first two taxes, anything you buy, you get taxed. Everybody pays the same tax rate, which should be around 35%. Luxury tax, stuff that's considered luxuries like chocolate and caviar, shit like that. 15%. Now, as for corporations, 35% tax on their profits. I should say on their income, not their profits. A 35% tax on their income. And that entire tax from the corporations should be taken and used to fund public education. Kindergarten through 12th grade, as well as colleges. And here is the leeway. We take the history of the students and we store them in a database. They're stored as a student number, not as a name. And basically, we measure their attendance, their grades, their strong points and their weak points as far as education goes, all the way up to college. We have that all in a database. And the companies that pay the tax are able to access the database. Through the database, they're able to contact the schools or the colleges and arrange for the college, because they won't know who the students are because they're sorted by ID and not names. So they talk to the school, and the school talks to the students and basically arrange employment opportunities like that. So the companies can look through a database to find what they're looking for. This student has good attendance records, they have good behavior, and they have all the points that you need for this job. So you contact the school, we're willing to pay for their traveling expenses, we're willing to pay living expenses for a while, and we're willing to pay this amount of for their work. And then the school basically passes it on to the students, and if it's agreed, the student meets with the company, and voila. That's my idea as far as taxes and stuff go.
And we also made interest on auto loans tax deductible the first time, but only if the car is made in America.
Yeah, that's good. People use their cars for everything, including their work. They should be able to use it as a fucking tax write-off.
Recently in Pennsylvania, I met Megan Hemhauser, a devoted mom who's homeschools her children, beautiful, 2 children, during the day while waiting tables at night as her husband works overtime operating very heavy equipment. Megan is here this evening, and she's happy to tell you that she is so much richer because with no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and our expanded child tax credit done again by Republicans, Megan and her husband will take home more than $5,000 extra just for the year, cutting her tax bill in more than half. Megan, please stand up. We're fighting for you, Megan. Thank you, Megan. We're fighting for you, Megan. Under our bill.
I will be right back, guys. Sorry about this, but I gotta pee. Sorry about that, guys. Damn, I was cutting it close. He started coming out the second I fucking sat down. Okay. Let's get back into the State of the Union. Okay. State of the Union.
Parents like Megan can also activate their children's brand new Trump accounts. And I didn't name it. I did not name that. Nobody believes me, but I did not name it. It was named by a very tall man sitting right there in the third row. Nice man, a good man. Tax-free investment accounts for every American child. This is something that's so special and has taken off and gone through the roof. Millions will be pre-funded courtesy of the U.S. Treasury and private individuals like Michael and Susan Dell, who have donated $6.25 billion to fund the Trump accounts for 25 million American children.
So government ran a college fund for children? I hope they can use it for more than just college, because I think college is mostly a scam in its current form. I think you should only go to college if you've already decided on a career that requires the college degree. Otherwise, your time would have been better spent working in the job you want to do if it doesn't require a college degree. Because those 4 to 8 years of experience, well, if it doesn't really require the degrees, then it's only going to be 4 years. Those 4 years of experience in work would have been a lot more, would do you a lot more than those 4 years wasted in the college for a degree you didn't require.
They're great people. When I asked Michael Dell, how do you make all that money? He said, well, I just sat on my dorm in school and I made computers and I'd sell them to people. And I just kept selling and selling and selling. And pretty amazing story. That's called the American dream. He sold a lot of computers, a lot of those laptops. So I congratulate him on that. But I really thank him and Susan, as well as others like Brad Gerstner, a very tremendous guy. He was behind it right from the beginning. Brad Gerstner. Thank you, Brad.
Okay.
So with modest additional contributions, these young people's accounts could grow to over $100,000 or more by the time they turn 18. Think of it, how much money is that for somebody that started with nothing? Over 100,000, could be much more than that. To make this investment in our children's future, go to trumpaccounts.gov.
My dad jacked one of my teas. I only had 2 left in there. Now I only have 1 left. I'm drinking water.
Of trumpaccounts.gov, and a lot
So
of
I'm gonna have
people
to
are
make
doing
more
it.
tea,
It's setting
in the
every
morning.
record in the book. It's popular. They knew what it was going to take. I'm so proud of them. I'm so proud of the people that got it started. And now it's just taken off. One of the primary reasons for our country's stunning economic turnaround, the biggest in history, where the Dow Jones broke 50,000 4 years ahead of schedule, and the S&P hit 7,000, where it wasn't supposed to do it for many years, were
I'll go ahead and
tariffs.
turn on my Mr. Deal.
I used these tariffs, took in hundreds of billions of dollars to make great deals for our country, both economically and on a national security.
Tariffs are actually a good thing, believe it or not. They're meant to encourage, basically, homeland growth. Basically, if the industries in the homeland are basically being damaged, basically outsold by foreign ones, where they don't have the same type of laws for labor that we do, you can add taxes to make up for the price, to make it to where the American versions are competitive against the foreign versions. So to sum it up, pretty much, out. To sum it up, you basically add a little cost to the imported one, so you don't pay. Well, so people that make it in the homeland can compete with people who make it overseas that don't have as many human rights as we do here. Okay, I got my mister on and I got the cap back on, so we're gonna have some good smelling steams or air, mist, whatever you want to call it, in the air. Okay.
Basis. Everything was working.
Now, the way I think tariffs should be done, I'm a big 35% guy. Tax everything coming in at a 35% tariff to everybody coming in. To everything coming in. And add no taxes whatsoever to exports. Basically encourage people to buy stuff from you, and encourage your own people to buy stuff from you. And it will be up to the other countries to tax what we export.
Well, countries that were ripping us off for decades are now paying us hundreds of billions of dollars. They were ripping us so badly, you all know that. Everybody knows it. Even the Democrats know it. They just don't want to say it. And yet these countries are now happy, and so are we. We made deals. The deals are all done. And they're happy. They're not making money like they used to, but we're making a lot of money. There was no inflation, tremendous growth. And the big story was how Donald Trump called the economy correctly, and 22 Nobel Prize winners in economics didn't. They got it totally wrong. They got it really wrong. And then just 4 days ago, an unfortunate ruling from the United States Supreme Court. It just came down. It came down. Very unfortunate ruling. But the good news is that almost all countries and corporations want to keep the deal that they already made.
That's better.
Right, Scott? Knowing that the legal power that I, as president, have to make a new deal could be far worse for them, and therefore they will continue to work along the same successful path that we had negotiated before the Supreme Court's unfortunate involvement. So despite the disappointing ruling, he's powerful. Country saving. It's saving our country, the kind of money we're taking in. Peace protecting. Many of the wars I settled was because of the threat of tariffs. I wouldn't have been able to settle them without. Will remain in place under fully approved and tested alternative legal statutes. And they have been tested for a long time. They're a little more complex, but they're actually probably better, leading to a solution that will be even stronger than before. Congressional action will not be necessary. It's all
same old thing, except a new way of implementing it. Do as I say or I'll bankrupt you. It's pretty much what he's doing right now. Do as I say or you won't be able to afford to feed and take care of your people.
Already time tested and approved. And as time goes by, I believe the tariffs paid for by foreign countries.
And that's not a bad thing. You guys might think it's a bad thing, but it's not a bad thing. That's how you create a society. You have to make people submit. A society, no matter how much people want to disagree, is about basically the minority submitting to the majority. That's what society is. That's what democracy is.
Will, like in the past, substantially replace the modern-day system of income tax, taking a great financial burden off the people that I love. Right? Moving forward, factories, jobs, investment, and trillions of dollars will continue pouring into the United States of America because we finally have a president who puts America first. I put America first. I love America.
I love America too, but I've never lived in any other place, so I can only comment on experiences in America. I don't like everything that's gone on in America. There's a lot of shit that could be improved, but I can't picture myself wanting to live anywhere other than America. I love America.
For decades before I came along, we had the exact opposite. From trade to healthcare, from energy to immigration, everything was stolen and rigged in order to drain the wealth out of the productive, hardworking people who make our country great, who make our country run. Under Biden and his corrupt partners in Congress and beyond, it reached a breaking point with the Green New scam, open borders for everyone. They poured in by the millions and millions from prisons, from mental institutions. They were murderers, 11,888 murders. They came into our country. You allowed that to happen. And record-setting inflation that cost the typical family $34,000 in just a speck of time.
This is why I want sales tax instead of income tax. Income tax are just generally unfair. Taxing people for what they're able to earn is fucking ridiculous. Just like you have talent, you're able to bring in a lot of money, so we're going to punish you for that. That's why I lean towards the more you buy, the more you're taxed. You get taxed the same rate as everybody else, but if you buy more than everybody else, you get taxed more than everybody else.
Now the same people in this chamber who voted for those disasters suddenly used the word affordability, a word, they just used it. Somebody gave it to them, knowing full well that they caused and created the increased prices that all of our citizens had to endure. You caused that problem. You caused that problem.
This is a problem with democracy. Tribalism. As you can tell, Trump is against the Democrats. The Democrats are against Trump. They've made their fucking camps. They've made their tribes, and it's escalating. This side's doing this, so this side does this. So this side does this, so this side one-ups. This side one-ups. This side one-ups. This side one-ups. Until the two tribes can't coexist anymore. It's escalation. It's what tribalism leads to. It's always going to end up this way every time shit like this is implemented. Tribes will always form when you got groups of people choosing what the fuck is done and who the fuck is leading. Now, I'm not against democracy. I just don't like democracies where you get to choose the leader. I prefer a type of democracy where you have a choice on basically you can't choose who leads you, but you can choose who doesn't lead you. So basically, if you don't think the person's doing a good job, you can have them removed from their position. That is the type of democracy I want. You don't think a law is fitting, you can have the law removed through a vote. That is how I picture democracy. Not this bullshit where people who don't know what the fuck they're doing is selecting who's leading. Just like, this guy agrees with my policies. Let's elect him, even though he doesn't know what a city requires to run. Hey, we're gonna elect this guy to build us a reservoir. Oh, he doesn't know how to build a reservoir? Who cares? We'll just have him build it anyway. The way I look at it is just like, had these guys in this group select somebody who they basically they take a bunch of information from different people and they choose the best one suited for what needs to be done at the time to be the leader. Now, if the person goes to build a reservoir and they're doing a bad job, the people get to vote to have that person removed, and that council chooses another leader. If the guy does a bad job again, then again the people vote and have the guy removed again. Only this time, they vote to have the people in the council that are choosing the duds removed as well. That is what I think democracy should be like. Reactionary, not what is the opposite of reaction? Instinctual? Well, no. Basically, you should only have to vote if shit goes wrong. If there's a problem. If there's not a problem, you shouldn't have to deal with government shit at all. But if there is a problem, that's when you have to start voting. That's my ideal of democracy. Again, my ideas might be crap. I might not know what I'm talking about, but I think it's a better alternative.
They knew their statements were a lie. They knew it. They knew their statements were a dirty, rotten lie. Their policies created the high prices. Our policies are rapidly ending them. We are doing really well. Those prices are plummeting downward. The price of eggs is down 60%, Madam Secretary, thank you. The cost of chicken, butter, fruit, hotels, automobiles, rent is lower today than when I took office by a lot. And even beef, which was very high, is starting to come down significantly. Just hold on a little while, we're getting it down. And soon you will see numbers that few people would think were possible to achieve just a short time ago. Nobody can believe when they see the kind of numbers, and especially energy, when they see energy going down to numbers like that, they cannot believe it. It's like another big tax cut. I'm also
I believe energy, water, and gas should be provided for free to the people, as well as internet access. It's a necessity. It's not fucking luxury. It's not shit like that. It's something that's required to live in current day. And anything that's required to live, I think, should be provided by the government. Again, it might be a wild take, but that's what I believe. Basically, housing, food, clothing, education, healthcare, and transportation, well, public transportation, I think should all be provided by the government. Now, if you want luxury in any of that, you got to pay. But basically, I think the government should provide a baseline for all of that. But it doesn't. And that's the problem with capitalism. It lets people fall through the cracks. It doesn't provide a baseline for the people. Now, socialism, on the other hand, drives no betterment factor. It drives no innovation factor. So, both capitalism and socialism fail by themselves. Capitalism fails as far as basically loss in the humanities. There's no baseline for the people, so people fall through the cracks. With socialism, there is nothing to drive innovation, so innovation falls through the cracks. We need some form of betterment, some sort of driving force to get people to innovate, to get people to progress. We need something to drive competition, to drive stuff up, to make stuff better. So basically, we need a hybrid of the two to create a good system. Again, might be crazy takes, but they're my takes.
confronting one of the biggest ripoffs.
You don't like them? Tell me about them. Give me an alternative. Tell me ways to fix the issues with the two systems, other than what I said. You agree with me? Good. You have better ideas? Let me know. Maybe I can improve my system.
Of our times, the crushing cost of health care caused by you. Since the passage of the Unaffordable Care Act, sometimes referred to as
Again, healthcare should be provided by the government. It's a necessity, but only for stuff that people actually need. No free gender assignment surgery, no free abortions. That stuff isn't required. If you're sick, you should be able to get medicine. If you got a broken bone, it should be able to get set. Like I had a spinal fracture, compression fracture. The government should cover for that, and they did for me because I'm poor. So, yeah. My medicine was always covered, only they didn't. When it was taken care of when I was in the hospital. When I got released, I was supposed to have somebody visit me like once a week. Nobody's visited me. I ran out of my gabapentin months ago, and daily I get sharp stabbing pains through different parts of my body that are currently numb. Because I had my compression fracture led to sepsis, the sepsis led to nerve damage, and you get the problem. I have numb feet, I got numb hands, and my entire upper back is numb. My left side of my ribs, the lower part of them are numb. Because I was an idiot who waited 2 weeks thinking that the problems would go away, and they didn't. The doctor told me if I was 1 day later, she wouldn't be talking to me because when I went to the hospital, my kidneys were already shutting down. Luckily, California has health care that covered me. And this health care I got because Obamacare required it. I had to sign up for it for Obamacare. After signing up for it, I never did it again. They renewed it every year on their own. Somehow they got the new address and sent me my medical card here, and I was able to use it when I went to the hospital. My medical card was lost at the hospital, but basically it was all covered by my Medi-Cal. My California medical, so I was lucky. That's 10 months of hospital care, 10 months of gabapentin, 10 months of, 5 months of IV antibiotics, about 4 months of oral antibiotics to go along with the IV antibiotics. So, yeah.
Obamacare, big insurance company has gotten rich. It was meant for the insurance companies, not for the people. With our government giving them hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars a year as their stock prices soared 1,000, 1,200, 1,400, and even 1,700%, like nothing else. That's why I introduced the great healthcare plan. I want to stop.
Okay, for instance, as I was saying, anything that's required should be free. Anything that's optional, you should have to cover yourself. Like my eyes, I'm not sure if you can tell. Let me do this. Okay, look at my eyes. Look at this eye and look at this eye. You notice it? If I actually do this, I can see two Trumps right now. One is right here. The other one is up over here. So the one I see through this eye is like right here. The one I see through this eye is, just a second, is right there. I'm basically covering Trump's head. Sorry, let me do it this way. Okay, my finger is covering Trump's head here. And now my finger is covering Trump's head here. This is how fucked up my eyes are. Now, if this operation to snip the muscle in this eye was done when I was a kid before I developed, my eyes would be normal vision. They'd be aligned. Trump would be one person through both eyes. Instead of one being here and one being here like this. However, right now, if I were to go in and get the surgery, it's not required. It's optional because all it would do is align my eyes. It'd be completely cosmetic now because The development's already done. So if I went in to have the surgery done now to the eye, I think I should have to pay for it myself. If it was when I was a kid, before the development was set, I think the government should have had to pay for it. Just my point of view on that.
Payments to big insurance companies and instead give that money directly to the people so they can buy their own health care, which will be better health care at a much lower cost.
Again, I believe the government should be funding the health care. I think that the government should open their own fucking hospitals in every fucking county, maybe every city. I think we should start out with it like one every county, just as starters first. And basically, you go to the healthcare facility and the government covers you. If it's affordable, we can switch it to every city, or at least a smaller clinic every city, and have actual long-stay, long-term stuff done in the county, and extra long-term maybe in the state. I don't know. Again, I'm open to discussion.
In addition, my plan requires maximum price transparency. That's a big deal.
I think the government, for everything that's not national security, should be completely transparent. I think that basically we should, all officers and shit require body cam, and their body cam should be uploaded to the fucking internet at the end of every fucking day. Unless it's something that can affect safety, I think it should all be public. Hell, I'd even be okay with surveillance cameras being put in fucking meetings and government offices, as long as it doesn't cover stuff that can't be shown, stuff that needs to be kept secret by national security. Other than that, I think basically all the records should be made public. As long as it won't hurt the country in some way if it gets out, I think it should be public record and accessible by the people online.
So simple, so big.
Complete fucking transparency in every way. As long as it doesn't cause harm. Sorry, undue harm. If it causes harm where the harm is required, then fuck them, let them get hurt.
And I did that in my first term, and the Democrats immediately terminated it with full knowledge that they were doing a very bad thing for the people. Costs were going to go way up, and that's what happened. And now I'm bringing them way down on health care and everything else. I'm also ending the wildly inflated cost of prescription drugs like has never happened before.
Again, as long as they're required and the government hospital says so, or your doctor says so, that it's actually required and you need it, I think the government should cover it. I also think all drugs should be free. I meant not free, sorry, should be legal. And if you are using them recreational, then I think it should be a 35% sales tax and a 15% luxury tax, medical luxury tax for the drugs, or alcohol, or tobacco. And that should be all put through or towards medical. Again, just my view. So basically, like, let's see, 35, 40, about 50% tax. I also believe rent should be taxed. I believe property should be taxed too, but only when you sell it or buy. Well, only when you buy it. If you buy something, you should be taxed. Is my opinion. Basically, if you buy something, you get taxed. If you give something to somebody, if it's above a certain amount, it should be taxed. If it's not above that amount, then okay with not taxing it. But basically, every time you buy something, well, no, gifts really shouldn't be taxed, but that would create a loophole. So basically, I think property should only be taxed when it's sold, or basically a fee when the title is transferred. So basically, if like a title is being transferred, like ownership of the property, I think it should be taxed. Even if the property is being gifted to somebody, I think they should still be taxed for like 50% of the property. No, no, property should only be like 35%, just the sales tax. Oh, and maybe an infrastructure tax of 15%. So, yeah, 50%. Also a 50% rent tax. So every time you pay rents, there should be a tax of 50% added to that altogether. So instead of paying $1,000 a month, you pay $1,500 a month. Now, before you go saying stuff to that, remember, I don't believe you should have a income tax. So you will not be charged income. So your income won't be taxed. So your tax is basically done in the monthly sales and stuff like that, and on the stuff you buy.
Other presidents tried to do it, but they never could. They tried. Most didn't try, actually. But they tried. They said they tried. They couldn't do it. They didn't even come close. They were all talk and no action. But
Again,
I got
I'm
it
open to
done.
discussion. I'm
Under
open
my
to better
just enacted
alternatives.
most favored nation agreements, Americans who have for decades paid by far the highest prices of any nation anywhere in the world for prescription drugs will now pay the lowest price anywhere in the world for drugs. Anywhere. The lowest price.
Again, I think everybody should be paying the same fucking price.
So in my first year of the second term, should be my third term, but
Again, everybody should be paying the same fucking price, which is the price it costs to make the medicine. Basically, the workers and the materials, as well as the shipping process and all that, is what should affect the price, in my opinion. If places can't afford it, that's on other countries to step in and cover for them.
strange things happen. I took prescription drugs, a very big part of healthcare, from the highest price in the entire world to the lowest. That's a big achievement. The result is price differences of 300, 400, 500, 600% and more, all available right now at a new website called TrumpRx.gov. And I didn't name that one either, by the way.
Yeah, we don't have a world government. I think the government should focus on their own people and take care of their own people. Once we develop a world government that rules over all the countries, then yeah, sure, everything should be split around on basically all shit like that. But right now, the countries aren't ran by the same group. They're all independent countries. So your people should be above people from other countries. Your obligation is to your people, not people from other countries. You should take care of your people. You should take care of your family. Your people are your family. You need to take care of them.
And here tonight is the very first customer ever to get that big discount, and it is big, Catherine Rayner. For 5 years, she and her husband have struggled with infertility, and they turned to IVF. One drug has been costing Catherine $4,000 to purchase, but a few weeks ago, she logged onto the TrumpRx website and got that same drug that cost $4,000, got it for under $500, a reduction of much more, actually, than $3,500.
This might be fucked up for me to say, but fertility drugs, I think, is optional. I don't think it's required. So I think that basically the people should have to cover it themselves in my system. So basically, what's your guys' opinion? Should that be changed? Make it to where it's covered by the government as long as they're not at replacement. If they're above replacement, then it's their own thing. So basically, have the government cover the fertility shit until they have 2 kids, and then if they want more than 2 kids, they cover it themselves? Or do you think it should be completely personal? And to where they have to cover it themselves no matter what? Or is your opinion that the government should always cover the fertility? As I said, I think it's a thing on them, so it's not something that's required to live. It's required for the company, well, for the country to stay at replacement, but again, I'm not sure. What's your opinion on this?
Catherine, we are all praying for you, and you're going to be a great mom. So now I'm calling on Congress to codify my most favored nation program into law. Now, the one thing, I'm not sure it matters because it's going to be very hard for somebody that comes along after me to say, let's raise drug prices by 700 or 800%. But
oh, I'm also for doing like when figuring out the price of something. As I was saying before, the price should be based on like the materials cost to make it, the labor cost, the shipment cost, and the distribution costs, as well as like a 20% profit cost added on top of that. And I think we should also add in like a rarity cost. Like if it's rare, if it's only available from you, you can charge a little extra. But again, I'm not sure about that. Or maybe not, because that would hype it up a bit more. Maybe a 20% profit cost and a 20% rarity cost. So something that would normally cost like 100 would end up costing like 140. No, because that also make it to where I'm also for like copyright only being able to last for like 4 to 8 years. I'd more lean towards 8 years because I think it's ridiculous for stuff to be copyrighted for like forever. So yeah.
John and Mike, if you don't mind, codify it anyway. They may do it. Codify it anyway. Thank you. Many Americans are also concerned that energy demand from AI data centers could unfairly drive up their electric utility bills. Tonight, I'm pleased to announce that I have negotiated the new Ratepayer Protection Pledge. You know what that is?
Is that a rarity cost? For the first year, we should allow a research and development cost to cover the prices of what it costs to make it. And we can make that anywhere between 20 to 40% of the production costs. What's your guys' opinion?
We're telling the major tech companies that they have the obligation to provide for their own power needs. They can build their own power plants as part of their factory so that no one's prices will go up. And in many cases, prices of electricity will go down for the community and very substantially down. This is a unique strategy never used in this country before.
So he's going to allow businesses, basically, what were they called again? The hubs for AI to build their own power stations to address the leakage?
Purchase. But a few weeks ago, she logged onto the Trump under raise drug prices. Have negotiated the new Ratepayer Protection Pledge. You know what that is? We're telling the major tech companies that they have the obligation to provide for their own power needs. They can build their own power plants as part of their factory so that no one's prices will go up. And in many cases, prices of electricity will go down for the community, and very substantially down. This is a unique strategy never used.
Why is Vance blinking so often? I'm trying not to notice it, but look how often he's blinking compared to everybody else. There's something wrong?
In this country before. We have an old grid. It could never handle the kind of numbers, the amount of electricity that's needed. So I'm telling them they can build their own plant. They're going to produce their own electricity. It will ensure the company's ability to get electricity while at the same time lowering prices of electricity for you, and could be very substantial for all of you cities and towns. You're going to see some good things happen over the next number of years. Another pillar of the American dream that has been under attack is home ownership. With us tonight is Rachel Wiggins, a mom of 2 from Houston. She placed bids on 20 homes and lost all of those bids to gigantic investment firms that bypassed inspection, paid all cash, and turned those houses into rentals, stealing away her American dream. She was devastated. Stories like this are why last month I signed executive order to ban large Wall Street investment firms from buying up in the thousands single-family homes.
I agree with that. Large companies should not be buying single-family houses. I'm okay with them fucking buying property and building like massive apartment structures. That's how I think the government should end up covering housing for people that require it. I think the government should make government housing basically massive apartment buildings. Just really large ones, really high up. Now, something I think would be a good test. California, listen to me, California. Offer your people free electricity. Get in contact with Elon Musk. Get a bunch of the Tesla solar tiles and power plants, storage batteries, and start installing them in every house in California. And then attach that to the grids as well. In Fontana, we were recently changing from pole power grids to underground power grids. Basically, add in all of these. The fuck was that? Add in all these basically solar tiles and link them up with the power grid. And basically do it in every house you can. Basically start with certain places and then slowly move up as you can. And just let's do this as an experiment. Just choose certain areas to do it in first, and then spread out more and more and more, and keep doing it and see how it affects the communities. You do that, and I guarantee you'll get better voters. I guarantee you'll get happier people. I also guarantee you that you'll get better power production. So, if somehow Elon Musk listens to this, and somehow anybody from the California government hears this, get in contact with each other and start fucking working this shit out and fucking get it implemented. There's no reason to stinking centralize a fucking power grid when it can be fucking spread out and the power can be produced at the fucking house scale and then basically shared in the fucking communities.
And now I'm asking Congress to make that ban permanent, because homes for people, really, that's what we want. We want homes for people, not for corporations. Corporations are doing just fine. Racel, thank you very much. Good luck with your home. You'll get one soon. We're also working to make it easier for Americans to save for retirement. And under this administration, we will always protect Social Security and Medicare. They are not protecting it for our seniors. We will always protect Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. Since I took office, the typical 401k balance is up by at least $30,000. That's a lot of money. We have millions and millions of people, because the stock market has done so well, setting all those records, your 401ks are way up. Yet half of all of working Americans still do not have access to a retirement plan with matching contributions from an employer. To remedy this gross disparity, I'm announcing that next year my administration will give these often forgotten American workers, great people, the people that built our country, access to the same type of retirement plan offered to every federal worker. We will match your contribution with up to $1,000 each year. As we ensure that all Americans can profit from a rising stock market, let's also ensure that members of Congress cannot corruptly profit from using insider information.
Pelosi, this is at you, bitch. Allegedly. So $1,000 a year, people are usually retired at age 65, at least as far as the law goes. I'm not sure if it's still that. They might have moved it up. You start working generally when you're 18. So let's see, 20, let's see, 18, let's see, 20, okay, 40, 65, so let's see, 25, 26, 27 years, $1,000 a year minimum. So let's see, 26, 27, so $54,000 altogether in the plan. And that should also be earning interest and stuff if it's in the plan, so not sure how much the interest is.
They stood up for that. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Did Nancy Pelosi stand up if she's here? Doubt it.
Yeah, he called her out on it directly.
Insider Trading Act without delay.
Give the rest of that to my dad in the morning.
I wasn't sure if anybody even on this side was going to applaud for that. I'm very impressed. Thank you. I'm very impressed. But when it comes to the corruption that is plundering, it's plundering America. There's been no more stunning example than Minnesota, where members of the Somali community have pillaged an estimated $19 billion from the American taxpayer. Oh, we have all the information. And in actuality...
You know what I could do with $19 billion? I can do quite a fucking lot with $19 billion.
The number is much higher than that. And California, Massachusetts, Maine, and many other states are even worse. This is the kind of corruption that shreds the fabric of a nation, and we are working on it like you wouldn't believe. So tonight, although started 4 months ago, I am officially announcing the war on fraud to be led by our great Vice President J.D. Vance. We'll get it done. And if we're able to find enough of that fraud, we will actually have a balanced budget overnight. It'll go very quickly. That's the kind of money you're talking about. We'll balance our budget. The Somali pirates who ransacked Minnesota remind us that there are large parts of the world where bribery, corruption, and lawlessness are the norm, not the exception. Importing these cultures through unrestricted immigration and open borders brings those problems right here to the USA. And it is the American people who pay the price in higher medical bills, car insurance rates, rent, taxes, and perhaps most importantly, crime. We will take care of this problem. We're going to take care of this problem. We are not playing games. Delilah. Delilah Colvin was only 5 years old in June 2024 when a 18-wheel tractor trailer plowed into her stopped car traveling at 60 miles an hour or more.
A semi.
The driver was an illegal alien let in by Joe Biden and given a commercial driver's license by open borders politicians in California. Doctors said Delilah would never be able to walk or talk, have a good life. She wouldn't even be able to eat again. But against all odds, she is now in the first grade learning to walk. And she's here this evening with her dad, Marcus, a fantastic man. Delilah, please, you are a great inspiration. Please stand up.
Guys, accidents with big rigs are no fucking joke. The city I live in, the city I grew up in, used to be the trucking capital of the fucking state. I mean, of the fucking country. And I used to live off the main drag. I've seen a very large, and it's more than double digits, accidents with big rigs. Small cars, not gonna survive a fucking accident with a big rig. The car is gonna be fucking total. A fucking Ford Bronco had the engine moved into the front seat from an accident. I've literally seen a guy standing there with his bones sticking out of his arm and blood streaming out in a stream after a big rig accident. On the other hand, I've seen people fucking flattened. I've seen people mutilated in these accidents. I've also seen people get off scot-free without getting hurt. In the Bronco accident I told you about, where the engine ended up in the front seat, the semi had maybe 5 scratches on it. The semi took no major damage at all, just a few scratches that could be buffed out. The Bronco was completely fucking destroyed. And that's the guy that had the bone sticking out of his arm, chunks of flesh hanging off, and basically blood streaming out. Not a pretty sight. Just to make that clear. Now, having people operating those that might not be able to understand the fucking road signs, having people operating those that don't fit the fucking rules, and having people fucking operating those that might ignore laws in order to meet the deadline so they aren't deported by the company using them, not a good thing. There's a reason why people with Class A's have to pay higher fines for the same crimes as people without Class A's. It's a fucking very dangerous fucking job. It's a high-paying job. And you need to be extra vetted to work that job. Just to point that out. It's a fucking dangerous fucking job for both the drivers, and even more so for the other people on the road. That's why I'm always surprised by these videos of people fucking taking on big rigs. You're not going to survive a fucking fight with a fucking big rig if you're in a car, jackass.
Thank you, Delilah. Many, if not most, illegal aliens do not speak English and cannot read even the most basic road signs as to direction, speed, danger, or location. That's why tonight I'm calling on Congress to pass what we will call the Delilah Law, barring any state from granting commercial driver's licenses to illegal aliens?
No, absolutely not. The law needs to, not just illegal aliens, it needs to go towards anybody who can't speak English. I think it should be required that you speak English to get a commercial driver license. You should be able to understand, all of our road signs are in fucking English. You should be able to have to understand English to get a fucking commercial driver's license. That's how dangerous it is to drive a commercial fucking vehicle. Not just illegal aliens. You have to speak fucking English to fucking get a commercial driver's license. That's what the law should be.
And yesterday, as you probably saw at the White House, I hosted a ceremony with Americans who lost their treasured loved ones to the scourge of illegal.
Let's back this up. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and call it. And we'll pick this up tomorrow. We watched about half of it. I know I started late, but yeah, it's gonna, my alarm's gonna go off soon. I gotta get stuff ready for in the morning. So I will, I'm gonna go ahead and end this, and we'll pick up where we left off tomorrow. So, it was nice hanging out with you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you weren't too set off by my rants. So I will, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Later, guys. Let's see, where are you? Okay.